Conversations with Nicole. Conversations with Nicole. Let's talk about it. Tell me all about it. I'm here. I want to know what's on your mind. Ooh, the world needs to hear from you, and I'm so glad to have a conversation to reach the nation. And it's all about you. We'll help each other to discover innovative ways to positively change the world. Let's talk about, let's talk about, yeah. Let's talk about conversations with Nicole.
Greetings. Happy Monday. Welcome to Conversations with Nicole. I am Nicole Everett, your host, and Conversations with Nicole is a talk show based in Tallahassee, Florida, focused on connecting the community through conversations. And today is what I call Mindset Monday, which is an opportunity for you, me, and my guests to chat about whatever it is we want to chat about. And today, in honor of Women's History Month, we are talking about female sexuality, regaining our power, regaining our power. And so this is an interactive live. We are live on Facebook, live on YouTube, as well as on the Greater Works Network on RokuTV. So I invite you all to tag a friend and let them know they need to be here. This is not only for the ladies, although it is primarily for the ladies, because listen, gentlemen, you might learn something tonight. All right. So I invite you to, in the comments, let us know on Facebook and on YouTube where you're tuning in from. Put your city and your state in the comments so we can give you a shout out. So I see my cousin Denise from Texas. Thank you for being here. I see Miss Leslie Steele all the way from the big Midway, Florida. Thank you for being here. Miss Shirley Wilson in Tallahassee, I appreciate you. Miss Clotilde Simone, a clinician out of Orlando who will be on very, very soon. Thank you for being here. And Benicia Hires, also a clinician here in Tallahassee. Appreciate you being here. So listen, female sexuality. This is kind of like a after dark version of Conversations with Nicole, kind of sort of, because my clinician, she gets it in. Okay, our guest is Miss Sonia B, and she's gonna give it to us straight. So we have Lynette Broxton. Thank you for being here in Tallahassee. And Ozzy Daniels. Ozzy, you're going to have to hold it down for the men tonight. I don't know if there are going to be many men on here, but I know you. I see you got your popcorn. Ozzy is a clinician in Virginia Beach, Virginia, and kind of our resident clinician because he's on the last Monday of the month. So Ozzy, hold it down for the men tonight. My cousin Tony in Colorado is here. So, all right, Ozzy, you might be in good company. So, listen, Ozzy, Tony is from Virginia, but he lives in Colorado. All right. So, thank you for being on here. So, I am super excited and delighted to have our special guest on, Miss Sonia B. Again, this is a safe space, a place where we are here to learn from one another and communicate with each other and just have a good time. Oh my goodness, y'all, stop the press. DJ Demp is on the live tonight. Now listen, Sonia B is Demp's sister. All right. So he's got really good reason to be here. But I think this is like twice in like 2 weeks. Demp's been on my live in the comments. I'm loving this. I appreciate you, Demp. And I appreciate you. Look, connecting me with your sister. I went to the gala for Demp House, and that's I think where we originally met. And so, anyway, I'm excited. My mom is here from Miami. I appreciate you, Mom, for being here. So listen, tag a friend, let them know they need to be on here. Again, this is interactive. We welcome your comments and your questions. So while the rest of the folks are tuning in, I'm going to read some of Miss Sonia Benson's bio. So Sonia B is a well-known and respected certified sexologist and intimacy coach, speaker and group facilitator now in the Tallahassee area, specializing in sexual wellness and female orgasm. Yes, I said it, female orgasm. Her newest projects include the launch of an online membership, the Pleasure Club, aimed at empowering its members in the areas of sexual and sensual wellness, and an adult play shop, Cocktails with a Sexologist, that facilitates the discussion of adult topics and classes in a safe and powerful setting. She is also the co host of a weekly video podcast, Grown As Women Shit, that normalizes conversations around sex, money, relationships, and self care. Sonia B can be found online at cocktailswithasexologist.com. So y'all help me welcome Miss Sonia B.
Yes. Yes. I'm so excited to be here.
And I am so excited to have you here. Listen, the folks are coming in. So listen, I got to give a couple of more shouts out. So my
Yes.
classmate, Sharice the Boys, Christy Chapman is here. We got Michael Cork from the Michael Cork Morning Show. His birthday is tomorrow. So an early
Oh,
happy
happy
birthday to
birthday.
Michael Cork. Mika Kelly, thank you for being here. And we got Miss cousin Denise again, and Miss Maya is in the house. Thank you for
All
being
right.
here, Maya.
All right.
Janetta is
Hey,
here.
Janetta.
Janetta and I were sitting at the gala together, and so yes, so glad that you all are here. And Marjorie, yes, Marjorie is a supporter as well. So thank you for being here, Marjorie. All
All
right.
right. All right.
All right. Well, more folks will come in and we'll try to, acknowledge them when we can. But I want you to tell us, who is Sonia B? Not what you do,
Got
but
it.
who
Oh
are
my
you?
goodness. Oh my goodness. Well, first of all, I like to, it's funny when I talk about, when I used to introduce the cocktails part, I say I'm a sensuous cocktail sexologist because I'm all about sensuality, about enjoying and really appreciating all that life has to offer. So I
Indeed.
am a daughter. I am uh, just a lover of all things life and really and an actual spiritual teacher. So I also support people with recognizing what they have going on in life and where they get to reconnect spiritually so that they can actually go where they're trying to go in their lives as well. So that's I guess a little bit about me. I feel like I'm from the DC area, so I just moved here from Tallahassee, and moved back to Tallahassee from DC, and I attended Florida A&M University, so I'm a rattler at heart. So
All right,
yes,
Rattler. Yes, yes, yes. Rattler in the house. I appreciate that. So the
yes.
men, it looks like they trying to take over the night, right?
I see they coming.
I
So
know. Don't talk about Mike. We can't let them talk about us too bad. Y'all
we're
just
not we're not gonna we're not gonna dog. It ain't about dogging
it
out the
ain't
men.
about y'all.
No.
Look, didn't Janice had a song that talks about this song ain't even about y'all? I guess you think this song is about
What's
you.
about you, right?
Right. It's not.
You're
It's
so
on.
vain.
Yeah, just
Yes.
we gonna learn you something tonight. All right. All right. So before we dive into this topic,
Yes.
I want to read my disclaimer since I have a clinician on,
Okay.
and that states that all topics past, present, and future on Conversations with Nicole are for informational purposes only. They are not to be used as a diagnosis for treatment or any answer to any personal issues related to the topic being discussed before, during, or after the program.
Yes.
All right. So, okay, we got Dr. Latanya White on here.
Yeah, she said who left the DMV for Tally? I know that's right. I know, right? So God said it's time to move and I'm now here back in the Tallahassee area.
So she has dual residency. I'm gonna tell you,
Oh, does
Latanya is
she?
between here and DMV, even though
Got
she's
it.
from Miami.
Got it. Got it.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, and Sharice doing the Hell Wildcat says no. Mm-mm. HBCU love, but no. Rattlers are in
All
the
day,
house
honey. Psst.
all day. Sorry about that.
Yes.
Sorry, not sorry. All right. So, listen, Lynette already starting out with questions before we even get started. Hold on.
Oh,
She
oh
said,
my goodness.
do
Sensual.
you, I think she meant offer any sensual yoga classes locally for couples? Oops, Nicole, you didn't ask no questions. Can we get that at the end, Lynette? Unless you have a response quickly.
No, not yoga. I am not a yoga practitioner. No, but I do have classes for couples.
Okay. All right. I actually have a yoga practitioner coming on soon, Lynette, so
Okay.
she can probably answer that question. All right. We got
Yes.
Ebony Joyce on. Thank you for being here. She'll be on later this month as well. All
Awesome.
right. All right. So let's get started. Let's get started. Female sexuality. Like
Yes.
what what is that? Why do we even need to talk about that?
Oh my goodness. It's funny. Well, one is it's a topic that's near and dear to my heart. Like this is I'm like I've have found out that I'm a drum major for women's pleasure. And I think that what it is for me is that often as women we have learned this mindset that says that um, we don't necessarily give ourselves permission to have pleasure, and sometimes especially when it comes to sexuality, we're either repressed by ourselves, beliefs that we've adopted from from society, and then also just repressed by people around us in terms of saying that it's not okay for you to be a sexual being and it's not okay for you to enjoy sex,
Mm,
or if you do enjoy it, you can't enjoy it too much. There's a whole lot out there saying that that it's not okay, whether it's coming from internally where we learn that pick that up, or it's still coming from outside of us.
okay.
Mhm.
So I'm going to ask the ladies again, safe space, no judgment, what have you. How many of you feel repressed or have felt repressed sexually? How many of you do or have felt repressed sexually? So just if you can give me a emoji hand or thumbs up or church finger or something and let us know. All right.
And Nicole, I would even add to that question and say, or that you feel may feel uncomfortable, because sometimes it's not something we feel the most comfortable speaking up for when it comes to what we want in the
Mm-hmm.
bedroom.
Okay, let us know. It's okay. Again, no judgment. And I see you, Magnolia Hood. Maggie was on last week. We talked about uh, cleaning our dirty laundry, dealing with family
Ah,
business. In fact, this
mm,
morning, that talk inspired me to do a talk on Michael Cort's morning show about family therapy. So,
okay.
yeah, yeah, yeah. All
Got it.
right.
Yes, really important.
All right. Maggie, the only one confessing. Okay, I'm going to raise my hand too.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm gonna raise my hand as a former feeling uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
All
Okay,
right.
we got two hands
We
there.
got two hands. Okay. Tony,
Yes.
Tony said, I honestly don't think about it anymore. Okay.
Mm,
All
okay.
right.
And
Venetia.
that's also an area of challenge where we have also dismissed our sexual selves.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Yeah.
Venetia raised her hand. Thank you, Venetia. Starts with how we are raised. Yes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Family of origin, for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, for sure. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, some of the rest of y'all are a little slow at the draw. Or you're not wanting to share it this time. That's fine. No pressure.
Yeah. And that has to do with the taboo of the topic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. Well, so with that, in terms of, um, as you talked about women feeling like maybe they don't deserve pleasure, or it's been so taboo to talk about
Yeah.
pleasure in sex and sexuality, and maybe
Mm-hmm.
there's been some trauma associated with that.
And sometimes yeah, there's a lot of trauma, and so there are things that have us feeling uncomfortable or
Mhm.
unsafe
Yeah.
sexually, that says that okay, it is not okay, maybe this is something that I have experienced pain with
Hmm.
respect to. And then sometimes we kind of put our pleasure as a and not high on the priority list.
Mhm.
So, and the statistics don't lie. Now, so there are two statistics. One is that 80% of women admit to faking orgasm at some point in their relationships or in their sexual history. And then in addition, there's an orgasm gap. 68% of heterosexual women acknowledge that they have orgasm every time that they have sex, as opposed to 95% of heterosexual men. So that's a huge gap between the level of pleasure that is being had in the bedroom.
Wow. So
Yes.
68% women and how many percent of men?
95%. And let's say heterosexual, because it does change when it's lesbian women versus gay men. Those
Okay.
statistics are a little different, but when we just look at the numbers between a heterosexual woman,
Mm-hmm.
68% that are experiencing orgasm every time, and 95%.
Mm. So what's the other? What's that? 4, 2 carry the 1. What's the other 32% doing? What's happening? I'm just
What's the
wondering.
right, exactly. We are there. We are either one. There are 30, about 20 to 30% of women have not experienced orgasm at all. Ever.
What?
Ever. Yes. Ever.
What?
Exactly. Yeah.
What's,
And
what's going on there?
well, because so some of it is, again, first of all, we talk about masturbation. If that is something that's usually poo-pooed for women to be partaking in that activity,
Mm-hmm.
it's almost considered to be natural. We expect men to masturbate. Yeah,
But
that's something that happens. But for women, it's just like, don't do that. Only nasty girls do that. You get slapped
mm,
on the hand figuratively. It says that this is not an okay activity for you. So often we don't explore our bodies. We don't
wow.
discover what we like. She said, "Have
Margie
mercy,
said,
no."
I rebuke it.
I know,
Okay.
right? Yeah. And so,
Wow.
yeah, so for some of us, it's a challenge. First of all, we know that just from an anatomy standpoint, women, it tends to be a little more challenging for us to have orgasm in the first place. And
Mm-hmm.
so, our bodies are just very different. And so it takes more of a concerted effort, and it takes understanding what it's going to take for that woman to orgasm. And so sometimes that's a matter of discovery, but we're not always doing the discovery. And
Well,
it's also oh, I'm sorry, go ahead,
let
Nicole.
me pause you real quick. I want to say hey to Miss Keosha, Miss Fine. She's here with us. And Clotilde said her mom was always open to this topic, which made her open with it.
Yes, that's important.
Mhm. So I'm kind of curious, in terms of, are there some people on some of our viewers that, maybe their moms or there was some adult, safe adult in their lives that was open to them having conversation around sex and sexuality and that sort of thing that, um, you know, made them comfortable talking about it. I would venture to say probably by and large, not so much.
Not so
Maybe,
much.
maybe nowadays more so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
more so now, but and though, yeah, it's very uncomfortable. Most parents they feel very uncomfortable talking to their children about sex. And so
Okay.
there's an assumption that you'll know what to do.
Yeah. Marjorie said her mom was closed, but those aunts were something else. Mm,
Thank God for aunts, right?
right. Right.
Yes.
Right. Right. Right.
Yes, they will get you together.
Indeed. Dominic said, I think for women, we allow our inner feelings about the person to affect how we perform in bed. For men, it's usually just
Mm.
about the release. Nothing gets in their way. Y'all heard that, man?
Yeah, right. Yeah, and it can vary because we have some men that definitely their feelings are involved in the bedroom as well. It depends on how you feel about the partner.
It does. Let me say hey
Yeah.
to Dr. Tika Wiggins. Thanks for being here. All right, so let's talk about like why orgasm is, there's a challenge to getting there.
Got it. Well, a lot of orgasm has to do with letting go.
Hmm.
And so one of the biggest sex organs that we have is our brain.
What? Wait, say that again.
The biggest sex organ that you have is your brain. And so often women, we can be in our heads sexually. So like we can be in the moment, but thinking about all of the laundry you still have to do. We can think about the fact that the kids should be coming home soon. We can think about, that noise that I just heard outside the bedroom door. There's so many things that can actually get in our way. Also body image, how do I feel about how my body's looking? What is he thinking about my body, or he or she, what is my partner thinking about my body? Also, how do I smell? There's so many ways that we can feel insecure and not completely present to the feelings that we're experiencing.
Boy, look at here. You hit the nail on the head right there. That whole body image piece is huge.
Yes.
So, whew, I can definitely say I have struggled. And this is not even sexual, but just maybe I have not felt attractive or beautiful or what have you. And for a dude to be telling me that I am and I don't feel it within myself, it's just like,
Right.
whatever.
Exactly. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why the connecting to yourself is so important, because the more, so some of it's a lack of confidence.
Mm-hmm.
If I don't feel confident in the bedroom, then I don't feel really comfortable to speak up, I don't feel comfortable with what I'm doing. But the more confident I feel sexually and the more connected I feel to my own body,
Mm-hmm.
the more I can okay, I got this, I can handle this,
Right.
So yeah.
Look at Court talking about, so men focus better, huh?
Well, actually, but that's a masculine trait too. So focus is a masculine trait. So yes, men have that a lot more. Of course, we know that the more feminine thing is not being, at focused like that.
All right. So Dimp said work gets in my way often. Okay, I got you. Yeah, you do work a lot, brother.
Yeah.
You always DJing somewhere.
Yeah, and actually that's again women, because often the other thing that happens, especially for some couples, that like we were going at it like bunny rabbits before we got married, but now that we are married, we have the children, she's tired when I come home from work. The last thing I want you to do is be in my face. Okay, so right now we're going to put these kids to bed. I'm going to do this homework with them. I'm going to get them fed and do everything that I need to do, and then I want to go lay down and go to bed. So often sex is also something that we have to make space for, and allow ourselves to have the rejuvenation that we need. Sometimes that means men taking some of the work that she has off of her plate, so that she is more available. If you go clean the kitchen and see what might happen, because you might just get some tonight.
Yes. So Mika said men focus, women multitask. And let me go back up, because Cornelius C-Man is on here in Tallahassee. He said it's the man's job to make a woman feel like a queen.
Got it. Well, and I can hear that. I hear that, and she also we women get to handle feeling like a queen internally. Because you can have, like you said, Nicole, somebody telling you that you are amazing all day long. But if my own esteem of myself does not have me feeling amazing, I don't care what you say to me, it's not going to necessarily have me let it in. So we've got to do the work.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Cherie said that her parents wouldn't dare have the sexual conversation with her. She didn't get comfortable with her sexuality until the late 20s.
Right. Not unusual.
Yeah. I see you, Keisha Washington. Thank you for being here. All right. Lynette said, now wait a minute. Oh, Maya. Okay, hold on. Maya said she was raised by her grandparents. Wait a minute. Hold on, y'all. I'm having a little technical difficulty.
You said, okay, well, I can tell you what okay.
Yes.
Okay. Well, you just switched to, okay, now she's gone. So you just had her up. Okay. You want me to read it?
Yes, please.
Okay. So Maya said she was raised by her grandparents who never mentioned sex in any form. And that made her approach parenting her children completely different. We talk about everything. Good for you. Yes. Yeah. And that's not unusual. That it's like, we're not going to. So because, there's a fear from parents that somehow if I talk to you about sex, that's going to make you go out and have sex. And so because of that, we are not preparing our children for what sex looks like. It's almost like, they figure you're gonna learn it when you go out there. You get married, you're gonna have sex with somebody, you're gonna figure it out. And unfortunately, a lot of people don't. So, yeah, so there's the opportunities for us to have those conversations so that our children really get I like to say that my cocktails with a sexologist is the adult sex education that you didn't know that you needed, because we get educated about everything else, but somehow sex, you're just supposed to know what to do.
All right. Sorry about that. Had a little
That's okay.
technical difficulty.
That's okay.
All right. So Yolanda said sex was a rare conversation in my home, which made me feel it was taboo.
Yes. Something to be avoided. That's why with Grown Ass Womenship, we said we normalize those conversations, because these are the things that we need to talk, like we need to pull back those rugs and really talk about some of the stuff that we hide in our communities.
Absolutely. Clotilde said a lot of women are tired, not just physically, but mentally, which makes it hard for men to sympathize because the mental fatigue is invisible to them.
You have a huge, that's a huge point. Yes. Right. You don't look tired. What? Right. You can't possibly be tired. Yeah.
Indeed. But that, I think that does happen more often than we probably realize.
Exactly. Yeah. And I think that the other thing is there's a study that talks about sexual pedal and sexual breaks. And so sometimes we think that sexual pedal is kind of like what's required to get your engine going. So, and it varies for everybody. For some of us, it's a light tap on the pedal, and then you like, what? Wait, where's that? You're ready to go. And for some people, you got to press that pedal all the way down to the floor for you to actually really feel like, okay, I think I might start getting turned on. But in addition, we have these breaks that mean that any little thing that might stop you from saying, I'm turned on, but no. Okay. Not going to happen, because there are little things that can actually get in the way that make you say, no, my mother-in-law is in the next room. Not happening. Just not, little things that would have you pump your brakes. So often we just kind of expect that sex is going, the feeling is just going to come to me. And there are things that we get to actively do to turn ourselves on, and things that we get to actively do to eliminate what would turn you off.
Now, I want to get to that. Okay. I do want to, there are like some really great comments here. Michael Ford said, we, meaning men, get mentally fatigued. It just doesn't kill their drive.
Right, exactly. I'm sure it kills something else, like their desire to do dishes. So, so maybe not their drive, but yes.
And then Yolanda said, do feel slavery played a part in us neglecting ourselves sexually. We give in every way, including our bodies. Personally, sex is meant to be enjoyed by women also.
Right. You know what? I think, Yolanda, you have that's a huge point, because in a lot of ways, when you feel that your body is not yours, whenever you have a little smidgen of a place where you could say, no, I want to keep this to myself, then, I could imagine that we feel like enough, like I've been exploited enough with the groping. You have kids pulling at you all day. You have people, everybody wants a piece of your body. And there might be a part that says, you know what? No, I'm saying no.
Gotcha. Demp said, nah, it will kill the drive sometimes. I've been in a situation where I didn't feel like it.
Yeah, exactly. And I like to remind people that, I know we lump men all into this category, that they're all the same, but actually men, it's for men, sex is also a very vulnerable act. And it can impact them in ways that they're like, that they don't necessarily, like Dem said, feel like it, or that they're impacted emotionally in a lot of different ways. So I like to let women know, don't, just kind of assume that men are machines just because, we think that that's how they are.
Cork talking about you just didn't like that chick. He's so messy. He is so messy. That's anyway. Dr. Tika said, I'm thankful my grandmother and mother talked to us about sex and comfortable in a relationship. I think she's means I'm comfortable in a relationship.
Yeah.
So I want to just pause real quick. We're kind of at the halfway mark. So for those of you who are just watching or just tuning in, I am on with Sonia Benson, also known as Sonia B, and we are talking about female sexuality, reclaiming, regaining our power, regaining
Yes.
our power. A lot of great comments on here, a lot of great interaction, but please like and share so that we get credit for all this goodness we got going on.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Keisha, oh my goodness, Vicky Lane. She said, I need a machine. It's been a minute.
Oh, girl. Yes, I got you. Anybody needs one? Trust and believe. I have a wholesale account, so I can get you whatever products you
Oh,
might need.
well, how about that? The sexologist does
Oh
wholesale.
yes. Oh, yeah. Trust me. I got all the any gadgets you need. We can get you
Mm.
there. Yes. Yes.
Okay, listen, we having a pom pom party, so we might need to talk with you about some parting gifts for the ladies
Yes. I would love to bring
for
some.
this
Yes.
event on April 23rd. All right, let's see. DJ Del said, Mike, I was just about to say some new Cooch will
Oh Lord.
always get you
Oh
in the
Lord.
mood. Oh, you know
There they
what?
go. There we go.
Here we go.
There they
Two
go. Yes.
ninjas. Just don't know how to act. Don't know how to act on the live, but it's all good. We
Yes.
appreciate you. So let's talk about that whole aspect of women appreciating their own bodies, right?
Mhm.
And the use of our bodies, or the pleasure is not just for our mate, but it's for ourselves. So let's dive into that a little bit more.
Yes, yes, as well. A
Mm,
lot of times, so I teach masturbation a lot.
mhm,
That is one of my favorite classes to teach. And one of the things that I talk about is like, in a lot of ways, sometimes as women, we act like sex is like this. Let's imagine this huge feast with all of your favorite foods on this table and like stuff that has your mouth watering, but you have the impression that I can only enjoy this if I have somebody to eat it with.
mm,
It's like, but no, this is my smorgasbord. Like, and I just, we were laughing before the show got started. I'm like, why would God give you so many nerve endings if it wasn't for you to enjoy it?
mm,
Like somehow there's this impression that I need to hold out and I need to wait, and then somehow pleasure doesn't lie in my fingertips, because,
mm,
this is all about me enjoying my own body and not just acting like my body is only to be shared.
mhm.
Yeah, this is mine first.
Indeed. And so, how important do you believe it is for a woman to know her body and know what she likes and
Oh my
knows what
gosh.
will take her there?
I think it is crucial, a critical, crucial, top of the list, because in terms of they go about pastel. That's my co-host Pastel Burks that says I have an
Pastel.
arsenal of toys.
Don't be telling the business, Pastel.
But she's talking about that wholesale account.
I know.
Right. So but, yeah, it's critical, because in order for you to communicate to your partner what actually feels good and what doesn't feel good and what you like,
Mhm.
you need to know what you like. And so if you haven't explored yourself, you're really almost walking up to your partner. I did a demonstration with women before in a workshop where I said, you're like giving your partner a janitor's ring full of keys, and you like, here, figure out which one is going to open me.
Mm.
And that is so unfair, especially in the pressure of the moment, when you could be like, "Ooh, but you kiss my neck, and that's really going to get me going," or "Ooh, Lord, right at my back. Oh my God, that's going to do it." Like, being able to give some guidance, so he or she is able to hear what would actually turn you on and get you there. We get to support
Mhm.
our client, get our support our spouses and our partners with what is going to support you with getting there, and not just be like, almost like you expect them to figure it out.
That's good. That's
Yeah.
good stuff. So, for the men that are on, um, would you be offended with guidance, or would that be okay with you? Would that be cool with you if she gave you some instructions, and not in a taskmaster type way, but
Yeah,
just a
no.
gentle type of, if you did this. that would really do it for me or what have
Right.
you. Yeah. So let us know in the comments. Y'all had a lot to say a little earlier, so
Right.
let's
That it
see.
got quiet.
Let's see how we do.
And like you're saying, Nicole, I would say the guidance is gentle, and really it's, if you can even think of it as feedback.
Mm-hmm.
Because and without feedback, they don't know, is this working, is this not working? But what
Right.
we do is we give the fake feedback, which is pretending that you just had an orgasm.
Mm-hmm.
And I've often talked to women about that and said, that is like having somebody feed you a plate of food that you cannot stand, and you are like, this
Mm-hmm.
is the best shit ever, and you are like, oh my god, this is the best meal I've ever had. Well, guess what? You're going to get served that same meal over and over and over again.
Mm-hmm. Mm-mm.
So yeah, so you want to give feedback in a loving, gentle manner that actually has them like, okay, oh, I can see her squirm says she wants more of this.
Mm-hmm.
They need to know what you want more of and what you want less of.
Right. Yeah, I'm curious if guys feel like they have to kind of be mind readers, especially if
Mm,
their their mate is not, you know, expressing, at least verbally saying something. And then,
right,
maybe you can pick up on the context clues or what have you and figure it
right.
out, like you said. But I like that analogy that you gave about the janitor with the keys. All right, Dimp said it's cool with me. You need to know how to please the person you're with because every female is different with what they like or what gets them to that point.
Everybody's different.
Indeed, indeed, indeed. All
Yeah.
right. Um, Keisha said, "Where he at? Where? Did I miss something?" All
I don't
right.
know.
Tell us what you're talking about. Tell us what you're talking about. Lynette said, in class, are you guiding the participant through the process?
So no, it is not an in person. Even though I've jokingly said I've seen on Real Sex that they have classes like that. I'm like, one day I'm gonna have the classes where we are actually saying, "Good job, so and so." All you have to do.
Mm.
But no, this is more like instruction that you take home to participate. And I tell you what I recommend that you try, and maybe some of the things that you may want to consider, so that you can learn what it's like to touch yourself and what it's like to please yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but no actual in the moment instruction as of yet.
Okay, Erica said dictator demands equals limp D.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, yeah. No, you do not want to be that person in the bedroom. That is not vulnerable, and that's not. I mean, yeah. No need to be ugly.
So, what would you suggest, especially for women who have had some sexual trauma, in
Hmm.
terms of dealing and healing, so that they can have healthy sexual encounters?
Got it. Okay. Well, that's a good question. One, I would say that it's one we I feel your pain, and I feel how challenging of a situation that would be. And so I would say first and foremost, you want to get support, and that would be with a licensed therapist that can support you in navigating those waters, because trauma can be so very challenging to deal with, and you don't want to re-traumatize yourself while you're attempting to heal from your trauma. So I would say to definitely deal with a professional that would know how to support you with unpacking and gently going where you need to go so that you can work through that. But I would say that most certainly to do the work, because so often we think that if you just skip over it, you're going to be okay. And the truth is, it's always like laying there buried underneath the surface until it's dealt with, and it will come out in some of the most unusual ways if you do not deal with it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. That's
Yeah.
good stuff.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think too. Um, Either some type of traumatic experience or um, unsatisfactory sexual experiences can lead to sexual frustration.
Oh, yeah.
Hmm.
Yes. And then wanting to avoid that. And
Hmm.
so I would say then that's when you're wanting to do the work spiritually to say, let me do some journaling, maybe somebody mentioned yoga that can help work out some of the places in our bodies where we have energy that's stuck so that we can work through that. And then really, this is where you're learning how to be connected to your body so that you're listening and hearing
Hmm.
what your body is saying. So
Mhm.
I think above and beyond anything, we get to learn how to be in tune with our own bodies so that we can hear when she's saying, this doesn't work for me, this hurts, this is uncomfortable, so that we can
Mhm.
then know how to address that and see what we need. So we
Yeah,
get to be the biggest supporters of our own needs.
absolutely. That
Yeah,
is huge. And so I hope, folks are really, especially the ladies, are really hearing what you're saying because your body is talking to you and
all the time.
it has, wants and needs and desires. And if you don't tend to those, then yes, you will be frustrated and
Mhm.
it will show up in some other ways potentially. So I want to circle back real quick. Michael Cork
Mhm.
did respond to the question around the gentle guidance. He said it's a
Okay.
much better experience for men when a woman is comfortable with herself
Yes.
and confident.
Yes.
Our initial point of reference is what our last person liked,
Hmm.
which
Yeah, that's all you have to go
it's
on.
very true, very true.
Yeah.
Teach because it makes it a better experience when everyone is pleased.
Yes. I
Very
mean,
well said.
yeah, really, a man who really likes you or is in relationship with you wants to please you.
Hmm.
But we get to do our part so that he can please you.
Yeah,
Because you can't be a closed, like a shut door that is not giving any feedback so he knows how to please
absolutely.
you. Yeah.
Clotilde said, I agree to seek a licensed therapist to work through trauma. Also, the therapist can help you with opening up about the trauma to your partner as a support.
Yes.
Yes, very good point.
Yes.
This
Thank you.
helps your partner understand if you're triggered during sexual encounters.
Yeah.
Hmm. Good
Hmm.
point. What about my married ladies out there?
Oh, in terms of, I mean, same. Okay, so same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Being in a marriage does not somehow divorce you from your body. This is still your body. And
Hmm.
even in your relationship with your husband, you get to know yourself in order to be better in partnership. I like to tell people you get to learn how to play your own instrument so that you can now play in a band. And so if you're if you are unaware of how your body functions, sometimes we're going in and then we're going it's often sometimes you're in a marriage, you're in a rut. We're not learning new
Hmm.
things. I'm not discovering new things about my body. Your body is changing as you get older. You get to
Hmm.
stay in tune with this instrument so that you know how to then be in tune with your partner
I love
and
how
with
you.
your husband.
I love how you said that. Cork followed up by saying, in other words, do your homework before we get there. Okay. Yes. All right. Clotilde said masturbation is still great while married.
It is.
All right.
Yes.
Keisha's wanting you to work with the veterans. So we'll
Oh, okay.
talk about that later. All right. Marjorie said, so what do you recommend in terms of sexual incompatibility? For example, if one person in a relationship has a much higher sex drive and the male is unable to meet one person, it's the woman. She talk about is one person. Uh, and the male is unable to meet those needs or daily demands. She asking for a friend. Do you ever tell couples that they should just not continue the relationship?
Well, I never feel like it's my place to say that they need to discontinue a relationship. And what I am looking at, what I'm coaching them on, is is where they get to go sexually.
Mhm.
However, I would probably also recommend that they take a look at well, one, I want to see, I would recommend you work with somebody to see what the incompatibility is about and whether you can find a place to meet in the middle, because it is possible. I had a reverse where a woman was saying she had a low sex drive, which we normally, we often expect. And then her husband's drive was really high. He wanted it every day. She wanted it once a week. But then after I was able to talk through it with her, she was able to recognize a few things about being tired and being worn out from work and what was
Mhm.
keeping her from feeling turned on.
Mhm.
And they were able to find a place where she, if she was to do it a little bit more, then he didn't really need it once a week.
Mhm.
Once a day, 7 days a week.
Mhm.
It felt like he was being starved. Also,
Mm,
touch was his love language. So also
mhm.
discovering how to touch him in ways that maybe are not sexual.
Yeah.
So yeah, so really just trying to figure out how they can both meet each other's needs.
I was going to ask you about the love language, but let's go to Kiosha's question. She
Okay.
said, in reference to our brain being our largest sexual organ, does that mean sexuality is more about psychology than physiology?
I would say it's both.
Okay.
Only, but so for some people, they can actually it varies depending on the person, and for some people, sex is a more it is definitely more in their heads than
Mhm.
it is in their bodies. There are some people that can have an orgasm without being touched.
I'm trying to get there. But
Yes,
anyway,
yeah.
you teach
Now,
that class?
Yeah, well, I have not, but I will. Yeah, I
Okay.
will. Yeah, I've actually had, and I've had the experience myself, so I know what it's like to actually do that.
Hello.
Yes, hello. And it was something. It was a surprise. It just kind of was like it just. Oh, okay. I didn't know that was something that was possible. But then I
Mm,
did my research after it happened, and I was like, oh, okay, this is a real thing. This is real.
wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah. Now, so I would say that it depends on the person. There are some people that really is just like purely a physical thing. However, for a lot of us, it is that if you are not turned on with your in your head, you are not going to necessarily get there with your body, or you
Mhm.
may not get there, or if you get there, you may not necessarily enjoy it. So,
Okay, so I gotta ask as it relates to this because for so many years I've heard people say for women, sex is more mental,
mhm,
for men, sex is more visual. And so I know you talked a little bit earlier about us being in our heads, thinking
mhm,
about we got to cook the dinner or take care of the kids or we hear something outside or what have you. So,
right.
and you mentioned maybe him doing some of the chores or alleviating her from these things that are on her mind. But is
Mhm.
there something that we can do to, kind of help ourselves in this area so we aren't in our minds so much?
Yeah. So one, I would say that we get to find more ways to relax yourself and to tap more into what you enjoy. So that would be, if that's putting on some romantic music, running a bubble bath, getting more into your body and getting present. So I know a lot of sometimes during coaching, I actually teach about mindfulness,
Hmm.
and so being mindful will take you out of your head and into your body so that you actually are, and you have to, there's some tools that you get to learn to, like, okay, recognize I'm in my head again. Let me take it back down. Let me sense what my body is feeling and
Mhm.
not just think about what's happening. So, but I would say doing different things that you enjoy, like, for some of us, some Marvin Gaye is going to turn you on, and you get into the mood and feeling it, and and then for some, a bubble bath would really, even something that relaxes you, some warm water that just has you, ooh, it's like, just some candlelight, and what was it? What's that song? It was some Marvin Gaye, some
Uh-huh.
Luther Band,
There you
right? Yeah.
go.
So
Yes.
sometimes you just need that thing that makes you slow down and
Hmm.
get present
Hmm.
and enjoy the moment.
Indeed, indeed,
Yeah.
indeed. All right, y'all hear that, ladies, right? I hope y'all are taking notes. All right, Maya said, what do you recommend on initiating intimacy? I think sometimes there is a misunderstanding of sex drive and a lack of knowing how to initiate the sex. So
Mm,
sometimes couples walk around feeling the exact same because neither party knows how to approach the desire first.
that's a good
It
question.
is a good question.
So sometimes it helps, first of all, I've heard of some couples in terms of initiating to actually talk about sex when you're not being sexual and when you're not in the mood. So that
Mhm.
might be over breakfast or, sitting and you're just watching a movie, but coming to an agreement about what ways you could communicate that you want to have sex. Like some people have signals. Like if I lay my teddy bear, my teddy on the bed, then
Mhm.
that means it's on and popping. Or if I hang this outside the door, then I would like some. And sometimes it's a matter of recognizing what turns your partner on and then approaching your partner with, okay, so how can you support them in turning them on? It might be kisses on the neck and then saying, I would love if, if we could take this to the bedroom. So it requires I know it's uncomfortable and it's vulnerable in terms of actually being able to just say, this is what I'd like to have happen.
Mhm.
However, we get to muster the courage to be vulnerable enough to say, you know what, I would really love, I love, you might even have a buzzword if you, I mean, a little special word. I love some cuddle time. So
I
that
was
they,
thinking about a safe
yeah.
word actually, but yeah.
Yeah, something that makes you that you don't, maybe that you can feel comfortable saying that lets your partner know, look, it's on and popping. Or and for some folks, it actually is scheduling it
Mm-hmm.
so that we know that Tuesday night at 8 is going down. So that you already have it kind of scheduled in your on your calendar.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
LaCarsha Houston said for her it's music. So
Mm,
maybe you play this particular song and
that's a good idea.
hmm
Yeah, and we know that song means, okay, you know what? You better come on in here.
yeah.
Yes, yeah, and actually, I had a couple of clients who have used some of my pheromone products before because pheromones have a tendency to get you aroused, and
hmm
so spraying on those sprays and then watching your partner be like all of a sudden turn the football off and saying, "Let's come on upstairs." So
What?
yeah, oh yeah,
It got him to turn the football off?
but one of my clients said she sprayed it downstairs and up the hallway, and he turned the football off and came to bed. So,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes
Wow.
you got to use those tools too.
Have to use what you got to get what you want, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm. All
Yeah.
right. Magnolia said, we know the saints ain't talking about it. So all the church folks is struggling or finding out late.
Well, it depends.
It
Now, I would
does.
say that, yeah, no, there's a lot of saints and they're getting it in. So there are people that
Yes.
just are not talking about it. But
Right.
they have found their way. They're like, okay,
Mhm.
this works for me and we ain't talking about it. But you're right. There are people that unfortunately are not getting that education and feel
Mhm.
repressed from a belief standpoint, that feel like it's not okay for them to express themselves sexually. And
Indeed.
yeah, and so it's really about, to me, being clear about what you believe
Mhm.
and what you feel like really serves you, so that you can um, enjoy what it is that you want to, how does that match up to what you really want in your life?
Yes. Ozzy said that smell is manipulation.
Yes, it is. And I call it manipulation in the bottle.
Is that what you call it?
Yes, I
I
do.
love that.
Yes, I do. Yes,
Wow.
and the men wear it sometimes too.
Mhm.
And actually, we all have it. Like,
Yeah.
when you sweat, when you come home from the gym, and your partner's like, "Okay, I don't know what it is, but I need to be all up on that." If that is your natural pheromones actually
Mhm.
awakening that primal instinct that says, "You know what? I don't know what it is, but right now I want to tear them clothes off."
Love it. Janetta said mental stimulation works for me.
That's nice. So even,
Mhm.
yeah, so just saying certain words,
Yeah.
talking to me in a certain way, saying things, you get to find out what turns your partner on. Like, reading some erotic poetry.
hmm
Mm, yes.
Yeah. Keisha talking about them pheromones get me bit by too many insects.
Ah, that's funny.
Ooh, not the bugaboos.
Right.
Listen, right. All right. So Janetta said yes. So wow, this has been great. Well, we are coming close to our end.
Oh my
So
goodness.
any closing remarks that you wish to share about our topic tonight?
Yes, I just want to say, it's like one life is short. And there's an opportunity for you to love and enjoy your body. This is like the palace that God has given you. And again, that you wouldn't have so many different senses and so many different nerve endings that you can enjoy your body if God did not intend for you to enjoy your body. So there's an opportunity to enjoy it and really have fun. Like, have it. I've heard sex being called like adult playtime. So it's like, this is the way we play, and you have an opportunity to enjoy yourself.
Love
Yeah.
it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Listen, two people have already said there needs to be a part two. Part two, part two. Listen,
Yes, I'm
I'm
here for it.
game if Sonya B is game.
Girl, I am
Okay.
always game. If the
All right.
topic is sex, I'm game. So
Okay. Cool. All right. We got Quasi on. This will be our last kind of comment before we
Okay.
close it out. But he said, should we African Americans seek an African mindset of mental and physical stimulus to fulfill our sensuality and abandon the slant Eurocentric perspective that we have embraced since slavery?
Okay,
Hmm.
so that's a good question,
Hmm.
Quasi. I
Awesome.
think that, yeah, so certainly I think that's something that could be explored in terms of taking a look at how did we conduct ourselves in the motherland and what might
Mhm.
better suit us? Because you might have a point that we get to maybe shed some of the conditioning that we've gotten here and maybe something else that has us more at home and operating from our roots. So I think you have a
Mhm.
point.
Indeed. All right. Lynette saying part two. Sharice is saying agreed. Me
Yes,
too. All right. So we'll have to make that happen.
I'm here for it.
Okay, cool, cool,
Yes.
cool, cool. Well, I am grateful that you have been on tonight. This has been a delightful conversation.
Yes.
How can folks connect with you?
Yes, yes, yes. Well, I am on Instagram. You can find me at Cocktails with a Sexologist. And you can certainly DM me there. I will be, okay, so now let me just confess, I have not been on my social media game, but I do get to get better. So
Mhm.
you can check that out. And then also for my video podcast at Grown Ass Women Shit, and ass is with two Z's and shit is with a Y.
Yes,
And then you could always call or text me at 202-630-2362. And I would love to
indeed.
hear from you and see how I can support you in experiencing more pleasure.
Absolutely. So, y'all, if this was good for you, let us know in the comments, please. I see Dip and Cork have chimed in saying great discussion. Marjorie, I just love this. Wonderful.
Oh,
Yes, yes, yes. So let us know in the comments. And for those of you who are new to the platform, I invite you to subscribe to the Conversations with Nicole YouTube channel. Subscribing and supporting. We need all the support we can get. We are on live on Mondays and Wednesdays at 8:30 p.m. talking about mental health and wellness, particularly in Black and Brown communities. This was a little different than normal, but also very relative because, again, our minds are our largest sex organ. So
yes,
we need to exercise those minds, right?
yes. Yeah,
Okay.
and enjoy.
And enjoy. Folks are chiming in. Renisha, Clotilde, Maya, Denise, Keisha. This
Yes,
is a key
Keisha.
person. Okay, Keisha, we're
Yes.
working on it, especially now since she in Tallahassee. So I got first dibs on her. So don't get tired. Mhm. Yep. All right, Maya. Thank you, Maya. Maya is engaged and about to be married, I believe, in August. So, Clo-
Oh,
yeah, Clotilde. Thank you, La Clotilde. Lakarsha. Thank you, Janetta. Thank you, Audrey Smith. Thank you. Appreciate you
yes,
being
thank
on
you.
here. Yes, for sure, for sure, for sure. All right. So y'all, let's keep this conversation going. This was good, right? It wasn't
Yes.
raunchy. It wasn't, we had real open conversation about a number of
This was
things.
amazing. Yeah, I
Yeah.
loved the questions. I loved everybody's engagement. That was awesome.
Mhm. Indeed, indeed.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hopefully we will get y'all back on, get Sonya B back on sooner rather than later and
Yeah.
get you all back on to engage with us in conversation. So, oh, I see you, Vanetta. Vanetta's a clinician out of Carolina, and she will be on in April. We're doing a panel on autism.
Oh,
So,
wow. Awesome.
thank you, thank you,
Awesome.
thank you. Miss Wilson, thank you so much. She's
Thank you,
down in Miami.
Beverly.
Appreciate you so much. All right, good people. Well, we are going to give you a little bit of time back, but definitely check us out. Wellness Wednesday, Mindset Monday, 8:30 p.m. Conversations with Nicole, Facebook, YouTube, and on the Greater Works Network on Roku TV. We'll see y'all next time.
Yes.
Bye.